My usual, please.
Luton, you're...
What? Is my tie not done up straight? Is there an unfortunate mark on my nose?
I heard you were dead.
Perhaps I am. Get me a stiff drink. How about a whiskey?
Don't you want something with it?
All right, put another whiskey in there.
Drinking like that'll kill you.
I'm dead already. You didn't come back here to drink, did you?
We came out to drink, to talk, to dance, to love. Who knows, the night is young.
How's business been?
Poor. Sapphire's missed several days. I don't think she's coming back.
You could be right.
So this is the small talk to win me over before you start grilling me again, is it?
You may be onto something there.
I hope you know you're not making any friends here.
You wouldn't happen to have heard anything about the murder of one of the patrician's clerks, would you?
No one outside of the palace knows anything. Except the commander of the watch. I heard that the patrician has asked Commander Vimes to come and speak to him about it sometime soon.
Hadn't he already gone to see him?
Hey, what do I know? I'm just a bartender with big ears.
Perhaps he just wants an update on the case.
Whatever.
Apparently one of the wizards up at Unseen University got themselves killed.
That's right. The reader of esoteric accounting or something.
Esoteric occultism, yeah. How did you know that?
I was speaking to Mrs. Foames earlier.
Mrs. Foames?
She's the head chambermaid up at the new hall.
One of the halls of residence?
Yeah, the big one that runs off from the huge library.
What did she have to say?
Just that this wizard had died in mysterious circumstances. Although she sounded like mysterious circumstances are pretty normal up there. It'd be a nice change if someone died in unmysterious circumstances for a change.
Can't be easy working at the university.
You couldn't pay me enough to make me work there.
Oh no? No amount of money would make you work there?
Well, obviously not a huge amount. For enough money I'd do anything.
Anything?
Well, not involving fish, broccoli, or vinegar.
Well, that sport my plans for tonight.
I hear a prominent merchant has been killed. Heard anything about it?
All I heard was that someone in the Merchants Guild got killed. That's all I know.
See you around.
Yeah, whatever.
Much as I'd enjoy ripping Mankin's throat out, the Octarine parrot wasn't a great place to change into a wolf.
It might be fun to watch, though.
Sapphire had a collection of trawl cosmetics. A granite filing stone, some colored sand, and various bottles. It all looked like junk to me. The mirror was a sad indictment of Sapphire's misconception that there was something glamorous about her job. What do you know? I can see my face in the mirror.
What is this? The poster says Sapphire. Is this someone bent over? That looks like a head, an arm, and a leg. Anyway, that's not important.
Dark cyan was the most prevalent smell in the dressing room. There was a booming bass quality to the scent.
I'm guessing that this is Sapphire.
The main smell in the dressing room was the same as the scent near the door in my office. It was definitely Sapphire's. The cyan stench was coming from a bottle of perfume. You couldn't possibly confuse Gaspod's scent with anything else. It was unique. Nobby's odor was like no other scent on the disc.
So troll perfume smells like something between Nobby and An old dog. Interesting.
There was a hint of an apple-colored scent in the air.
I am going to head towards the von Uberwald mansion so we can speak to Carlotta, hopefully. But along the way, I'm going to visit some seemingly innocuous locations, as I don't think there's any need to actually return there in this act. But they're still available to visit.
There was a blue mist around the statue Roden had been working on. I hadn't seen Rodin's scent anywhere but his workshop. I don't think the sculptor got out much.
So where is he now then? Does he live here?
The apple-colored scent wasn't entirely unpleasant. The cyan scent was distinct and potent. The dark cyan scent was strong and earthy, with a hint of something potent about it. The place where malachite had been perched smelled of a deep, earthy brown. The earthy brown scent of malachite was unmistakably the scent of a troll. They looked like ordinary bandages, but at some point they'd been soaked in plaster. What they were doing in Rodin's workshop was anyone's guess.
They're also near to where malachite was standing as well. Now this is one location where I'm pretty certain we don't have to return to. As you can see, Reagan's carriage and Reagan himself have gone, presumably down to the yard and or the morgue. This has to be the Ankh.
Here on the Magdalen Bridge, the reek of the Ankh was at its most sickening. The smell of the Ankh almost drowned out the remains of the magenta scent. The smell of the Ankh was too strong for me to pick out the magenta scent well. There was no mistaking it. Even against the reek of the Ankh, it was the scent of my killer.
He gets around a bit. We're not able to speak to Clerk's Gable any further.
There was definitely a magenta hint amongst the scents on the roof. The magenta traces were too weak to be accurately memorized. Around the chalk outline was a brown scent, presumably malachites. There were signs of a teal scent on the roof. The scent had a distinct hint of tobacco. Some parts of the roof had a navy blue scent to them. The navy blue scent was strong and distinct. There was a superficial similarity between the two scents, but I don't think they were connected. They were very different in tone and pitch. It smelled exactly the same. I could tell that my killer had been here. Nobby just couldn't conceal his odor.
We just need to work out who this navy blue scent belongs to. It could be Vimes. Could be detritus.
Turning into a wolf wasn't something I was entirely comfortable with yet. I was trying to restrict myself to just when it was really necessary.
Surely we could go to Firma's tomb and work out, well, faked Firma, and work out who exactly buried this person. But no, Luton will not do that. Right. Those are the innocuous locations out of the way with. Let's carry on with the plot.
Oh, it is you, sir.
I'm just as thrilled.
Who would sir like to see this time?
I'd like to see Carlotta. Is she home?
I will go and check.
If you leave the screen before the butler disappears, then he will just magically reappear at the main doors.
While the butler was gone, I slipped into my wolf form. A purple scent stretched across the hallway, and I instantly knew it was Carlotta. But that wasn't all. The richness of her odor told me something else. Carlotta was a werewolf, just like me.
It seems that Carlotta is not in her room.
Take a message. Tell her to meet me at the Café Ankh later tonight.
As sir wishes.
If Carlotta was the werewolf who infected me, I wanted to speak to her as soon as possible. Sheesh! You'd think a guy could take one kiss and wake up the same shape next day, wouldn't you? I headed back the way I came. I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched.
Who would sir like to see this time?
Why did we leave? We weren't done.
I'd like to see Carlotta.
Alas, the young mistress is not present.
I was hoping that we would be able to collect Carlotta's scent. Have we looked at this before? I'm pretty sure we have. This was the genealogy book, wasn't it?
The book was an old edition of Twerp's Peerage, probably a collector's item. Why do rich families feel the need to leave old, valuable books lying around in their reception halls? It's bad enough that they have so much more money than you without rubbing it in.
Yes, we have seen that book before.
I really didn't want the butler to see me change. The Count's health was getting worse. He wasn't making much sense.
Is that you? I knew you'd come for me sooner or later. Is it time? Is it time already? It's been such a long time, hasn't it? We've had fun together, haven't we? Soon enough.
Count?
Soon enough, my dear. Soon enough.
Count? It's Luton.
He cannot hear you.
Why not?
It's almost his time.
I've seen some scary things in my time. I've seen men driven mad by money or women. I've seen wars where neither side has known what they were fighting over. I've seen Nabi getting out of the shower, and believe me, that was no picnic. I didn't really discover what terror was until I found myself talking to a 7-foot-high skeleton with a scythe. Your death!
Am I? You know, I wondered why I was carrying the scythe around.
Am I?
Are you what? A selfish, bitter man who has yet to squander his one last chance at redemption?
Am I dead?
No. It's not your time.
I thought you might have missed me the other day when I was stabbed and you've only just got around to me.
I'm famously punctual.
So why are you here?
I've come out for the count, so to speak.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I was hoping to ask him a few questions.
You seem remarkably calm for one who's just seen the defeater of empires, the swallower of oceans, the thief of years, the ultimate reality, the harvester of mankind, and the assassin against whom no lock will hold. That's me, in case you have trouble with long sentences.
It's been that kind of week. How long has he got?
That depends on you.
On me? I thought our time was allocated by the fates.
It is true that fate is the ultimate master of life and death. But even fate takes a back seat to the laws of narrative causality.
I don't understand.
Really? Who said you were supposed to?
You might give me a clue.
Let's just say that the actions of one person may change the way the whole story is told.
I don't understand.
Don't worry, it'll all become clear to you at the end.
How come you're here?
I came on my horse.
What is it? A skeletal horse whose hooves spark with flames with each step?
No. Just my horse. I call him Binky.
And he's not a skeleton?
He happens to be very well fed and looked after, thank you very much.
I still don't understand why you're here. I mean, you're death. Shouldn't you be everywhere?
I am everywhere.
But you're here.
Yes. As well. Don't try to work it out. Even I don't fully understand it. It involves really complicated numbers.
You turn up like this for everyone?
Generally, I'm only expected to make an actual appearance on special occasions.
And this is a special occasion?
Not yet. I've arrived ahead of time. But there's going to be a lot of business in Ankh-Morpork soon, so it doesn't hurt for me to get here a little early.
You wouldn't care to tell me more about this, I suppose?
The immediate future is not a matter on which I propose to enlighten you, no.
How come I can see you? Is it something to do with me being a werewolf?
In a sense. It has much more to do with certain other matters.
Such as?
Ordinarily, I am only perceived by those who are about to die.
So you are invisible? That must be useful.
I'm not invisible, as such. People just can't see me. They won't allow themselves to do it. Until it's time, of course. Wizards can see me, and cats. Odd, really, but there you go.
But I can see you.
Indeed. People in a state of heightened awareness sometimes stop seeing what they expect to see and start seeing what is really there.
Like with Gaspode.
Frankly, I think your seeing me has more to do with your quest for the golden sword.
You know about that?
I've been around. I hear things.
Why should the sword be a factor?
Well, it's more to do with narrative causality, as I said.
It's not really a quest. I mean, I'm just investigating a few murders.
Believe me, I know. I was there.
So, if 6 wizards are dying in a room, does death show up 6 times or just the once for everyone? Or is this whole thing just sort of like accept what it is and don't think about it too much?
You mentioned narrative causality before.
Did I? I must be becoming careless.
Why? Aren't you allowed to discuss it?
It's not exactly against the rules, but it might ruin it if I told you.
Ruin what?
The story.
Can you think of any reason that Mundy might have been hung upside down before he was killed?
Of course.
You were there?
Well, yes. I have to be. But this is very irregular.
Of course. You know about all these murders, don't you? I mean, you're basically an accessory after the fact. Or possibly before the fact.
Young man, I am the fact.
Well, tell me everything you know.
Are you sure? It would take millions of years.
I meant about this case. We could stop anyone else from being killed.
No. Absolutely not. You can't expect me to be a witness in a murder inquiry. I'm going to take the 5th.
The 5th what?
No one ever says what 5th. They just take it. And I'll have the 6th, 7th, and 15th through 23rd, just to be on the safe side.
So you won't tell me anything?
Oh, lots of things. I like to talk to a man who likes to talk.
But you won't tell me anything about the murders?
I will not. Supposing that caught on. You think I want to spend every day in a witness box?
Even though Death said he wouldn't tell me anything, I had a suspicion that I might be able to learn something if I could just trip him up. I'd have to be careful, though. The last thing I wanted was to get Death upset with me. He's not a guy you want as your enemy.
I don't think that he actually cares enough to be anyone's enemy, really. He just is. Is there any point in speaking to him about people who are alive?
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I haven't met them. Yet.
Do you know anything about the counterweight killings?
I already told you that I could not discuss the details of my work with you.
Will that be the same for Reagan and Malachite as well?
There must be something you can tell me about Reagan's murder.
What would be the point of your job if I did all your work for you?
I'll make you a deal. You help me, and I'll help you.
Oh yes, that'd do my reputation good, wouldn't it? You sidling up to people and saying, "Hey, sister, you're deader than a bucket of fish." No, thank you.
Okay. I was only trying to be friendly.
I don't have many friends. Don't have the knack, I suppose.
You and me both, pal.
Still, we both have jobs that allow us to get out and meet people.
You can at least tell me why the murderer killed Reagan, Mundy, and Malachite. Surely that wouldn't be a problem.
Look, if I tell you about him, where does it stop? No. I will tell you nothing.
I think it's too late for that.
Bugger. I don't suppose you could forget I said that.
Sure. Thanks for eliminating half of my suspects. So, the murderer was male. Well, that put Carlotta and Sapphire in the clear. When I smelled Carlotta's scent in the von Uberwald mansion, I knew she was a werewolf.
I know that we're speaking to death right now, but maybe we can direct this at the Count as well?
It seems a woman that I've been involved with is a werewolf.
Indeed.
Her name's Carlotta. She's the mistress of the house, I guess.
Carlotta, hmm? Yes, of course she is. Couldn't be part of the von Uberwalds if she wasn't, hmm? You'd be a werewolf too if you married her.
The von Uberwalds are all werewolves.
Really? How do you know that?
How do I know that, eh? How could I not know that? I was married myself, you know. Do you remember my wife?
Yes.
No.
Before your time,
No one was before my time.
Whoops.
I think the murderer I'm looking for is some kind of beast.
No doubt you will find out soon enough.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me about the murder of the patrician's clerk?
Only that he was a lot less tiresome than you and didn't have such a colorful vocabulary.
Wizards can see you, right?
Indeed.
So they know when they're going to die.
That is also true.
So the reader of esoteric occultism must have known he was about to be murdered.
Knowing when you are going to die and knowing how are two different things.
I was just thinking that I could really use some information on the merchant's murder.
That's funny. I was just thinking about wallpaper. Was there a point you wanted to make?
Perhaps I could trap him into saying something when I knew a little more about how and where the merchant had been killed.
You know, that's very good, the way you make your voice go all tough and gritty like that. Do you have to go to elocution classes?
No.
Do you have a secret code ring or anything?
No.
Oh.
Do you know anything about golden swords?
I've seen a couple in my time.
Such as?
Oh, I don't know. If you've seen one golden sword, you've seen them all.
Do you know anything about jewels?
Jewels? Shiny. Not much use for anything except looking pretty.
Count von Uberwald?
Has it turned cold again? I can't tell.
There's life in the old Count yet.
There will be. Right up until the end.
What about you?
I'll be there.
No, I mean, do you know anything about jewels?
I once had to acquire a diamond for a friend.
Where did you find it?
In a temple. They thought it was the tear of a god.
Was it?
No. Gods never weep. Sometimes the imagination of mankind astonishes me.
You don't know anything about gold-plated jewels?
Sorry, no.
Neither the Count nor Death seemed likely people to discuss that particular matter with. Some moss, found where I was murdered. I don't suppose you know anything about mosses.
Moss? Did you say moss? Plants. Yes. Lots of plants here. Can't remember much about them these days. The memory fails. There are books, though. I forget where. Yes. The library's Apocrypha. All the books are there, you know?
May I use the library?
Eh? What was that, my boy? The library. Ah, yes. The library's Apocrypha. All the books are there, you know? You can use it if it will help your inquiries. How go your inquiries? Have you heard from Reagan?
No, not yet.